Hey guys, welcome back to 40k. It's Kel here again with another Warhammer 40,000 news interview coming today. So today, if you go on the Warhammer 40,000 community page, there is an article that's related a bit to yesterday, a bit more about Fabius Bile. The return of Fabius Bile and what he's going to be. Now, I've heard a couple of things about this article, that it's going to have some stats, a couple of new pictures, and some loadouts of what you can have for Fabius Bile. So we're going to get right into it. But just before we do that, big thank you to the 2 people who've subscribed to the channel since yesterday. It's fantastic to see that the page has been up for one day and we've already got 2 followers. That's really good to see. It's quite heartwarming to see that people are interested in what me and Col are doing, what me and Col have got to say, and thanks very much for subscribing. If anyone else would like to subscribe to the channel, it would be a massive boost to the channel, and to leave a thumbs up and just to watch the video in its entirety would be really useful and much appreciated. So if you can do all of those 3 things, we'd love it. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to get into the article, The Return of Fabius Bile. Oh, sorry, Fabius Bile. Okay, so the latest Psychic Awakening book, War of the Spider, is available to pre-order from this Saturday alongside Fabius Bile. And today we're taking a look at his stunning reimagining model and rules. Nice. Okay, so what's this picture we've got here? We've got Mr. Bile himself, his little minion, what looks like to be some Chaos Space Marines at the bottom, and these, I don't know what those models are. To me, they will look like out of something out of Age of Sigmar, but it's not Age of Sigmar because there's clearly Bile and Chaos Space Marines. I'm thinking they might be something out of the Sisters of Silence or the Adeptus Sororitas. I'm not sure. If you leave a comment below, let me know what those are. I love learning new things and be very interested to see what they are. So basically, who is Mr. Bile? Fabius Bile. Fabius Bile's name has been accursed across the galaxy for 10,000 years. Bile was an apothecary in the Emperor's Children when it fell to chaos and joined Horus in the heresy against the Emperor. Indeed it did. Even then, he'd begun his twisted experiments, attempting to improve Space Marines and declaring the Emperor to be short-sighted. Ooh, okay, ahead of the times. In the millennia since, he's made his way across the war-torn Imperium, seeking to perfect his so-called new men. He even spent time with the homunculi of the Camorra in order to perfect his gene-enhancing skills. Okay. War of the Spider sees Fabius Bile being chased by the Death Guard after stealing an ancient device from them. At the same time, he's being tracked down by agents of the Imperium, but as they all enter the Spider's web, the hunter may soon become the hunter. Okay, and here we have some fantastic artwork. Look at that. That is some beautiful artwork from Games Workshop. That would look really good as a poster on a wall, to be honest. Taking the gene seed of the Imperial Fists there. Good lad, Fabius. Good lad. Well done. I approve. So the model. Fabius' new model perfectly encapsulates the Clone Lord. Clad in a coat made from skin and armed with the gruesomely poisonous Zyklos Needler. I'm probably going to mispronounce loads of stuff on this, so I apologise in advance. He is definitely among the top mad scientists in the 41st millennium. He even has an assistant now in the form of a surgeon acolyte to help him with his gruesome experiments. And we saw that top photo yesterday. We'll just take a quick look at these ones. I mean, the detail on these is so good. I mean, especially in the vials where you can see the little white dots to signify the bubbles coming up. It's such a good model. It's such a good piece of kit. And even the acolyte's got really good detail on the back and things like that. I'm really excited about this model. So on the tabletop, Fabius is also getting some new rules in War of the Spider. So we can see here, he moves 6 inches, weapon skill is 2, ballistic skill is 3+, strength is 4, toughness 4, wounds he has 5, attacks he has 4, he has a leadership of 9, and a save of a 3+. And that's pretty good. Plenty of wounds. I'm expecting he's going to get some back. The attacks is a little bit low, but we'll see what he gets later on. Looks like he's had a couple of tweaks since his appearance in Codex Chaos Space Marines, as his weapons, the Rod of Torment now gives a strength boost. Okay, so the Rod of Torment is melee, the type melee, obviously, but it gives strength +1, AP -1, and it's D3 damage. And also, its ability, when resolve an attack made with this weapon against a vehicle unit, it has a damage characteristic of 1. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Fabius likes to go for the DNA, he likes to go for the genetic tissue and stuff, so going for tanks and stuff really isn't Fabius's doing, so that's fine. So that will push him up to strength 5 with 4 attacks at AP -1, hitting on 2s, possibly wounding on 3s with a D3 damage. Okay. While Bile can now also make attacks with his evil looking, oh, what does that word say? Cryogen strapped to his back. I think that says cryogen. I'm probably wrong on that, but okay, another word I've seen before. So the cryogen, which I'm guessing is his servo suit, is range melee, type melee, strength 4, AP -2, and it's 1 damage. Okay, so it has more armor penetration than the Rod. Okay, but its ability, when the bearer fights, it can make 3 additional attacks with this weapon. Okay, so you're going to be ending up getting 7 attacks, strength 4, hitting on 2s. It's probably going to be wounding on 4s, but it has that AP -2, which is good. So it gives you a few extra attacks. So if you're going against softer units, you probably want to be going with this. The mysterious device is even better, okay, at keeping Bile alive, and he can now ignore wounds on a 5+. Okay, so when Fabius Bile would lose a wound, roll a d6. On a 5+, the wound is not lost. Okay, so it's basically a 5 will feel no pain. Okay. In addition, at the start of each of your turns, Fabius Bile regains D3 lost wounds. Okay, so that gives him a bit more survivability. So even if he's lost a fair few wounds, you really want to take him out in one go, because if you don't, he's going to get at least 1 wound back. And he's going to, he's got a file up feeling of pain. You really want to take Bile out in one go if you can. This means that he can survive longer and keep using his abilities to enhance the warriors in his army. Plus, if he's accompanied by his assistant, he gets much greater control over the outcome of his experiments. Okay. Another pair of hands ability. If Fabius Bile is accompanied by a surgeon acolyte, which he probably would be and should be, after rolling the D3 for the enhanced warriors ability, you can add or subtract 1 to that roll or result. E.g., if you roll a D3 and it's a 3, the result could be a 2 or a 3. Okay. If a surgeon acolyte is destroyed, it is ignored for the purposes of morale tests. Okay. That's interesting. So what does that mean then? Remember, Fabius gets to enhance the units at the end of the movement phase and rolls in this table below. Ah, see. So if you roll a d3 and you get a 1, you get to add 1 to the strength characteristics of models in that unit until the end of the battle. Wow, not just for a turn, the end of the battle. A 2, add 1 to the toughness characteristics of models in that unit until the end of the battle. And a 3, add 1 to the attacks characteristics of models in that unit to the end of the battle. So if you're going behind a group of something like berserkers, which might take a couple of turns to get there, you're going to get a couple of turns where you can buff them ridiculous to get them into close combat. That's really good. I like that a lot. That's fluffy and it works well with the model and his backstory. That's good. Impressed. I like that. So the surgeon acolyte can come very in handy. It can, because if you roll a 2, you can switch it either way to make it a 1, a 2, or a 3. Which that's a very good ability. You want to keep both those models alive for as long as you can. Bile can more than hold his own in combat, and his ability to improve the infantry around him makes him a great addition to any heretic Astartes force. And just wait until you see what the creations of Bile army can do. Oh, he gets his own little subsection of army. This is good. We'll be taking a look at them later in the week, but in the meantime, grab a squad of Chaos Space Marines so that you're ready to start the experiments when he arrives. That's good. That is very nice. I like all of that. And I'm guessing as well, before I forget, these enhancements could put him on himself. So eventually you could have +1 strength, +1 toughness, +1 attacks, in addition to everything he's already got, which could make Fabius quite quite a boss in close combat. I mean, it would take him 3 turns to get the full benefits of that, but could it be worth it getting in close combat? I'll be interested to see when this model comes out, when people start to run it, how they run Fabius to get the best out of him, whether they'll just fling him into combat, what units he'll be accompanied by, so on and so forth. But yeah, that's going to be it for this quick review. Very nice to see Fabius getting some buffs there, and a little bits of power-ups here and there. And I'm more interested to see as well what his units are going to look like later on in the week. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Please, like I said at the beginning, like and subscribe and share if you can, and leave some comments. Do all of those things, because we really want this channel to do well for the start of 9th and beyond. And we'd much rather be doing this than doing actual work, because this is much more fun. Okay, but it's been my pleasure, and this is Kel on behalf of 40k signing out. And until next time, guys, see you later.